bottom line, or the more important point, is to recognize that border measures are really part of an overall system of defense. We require multi-layers of defense. Having strong border measures will help to buy us time, but it will not keep the virus out. Bottom line, or the more important...
Good afternoon, I'm Haryanto Diman. Singapore is stepping up measures to better detect the new Covid-19 variant Omicron and reduce the risk of it entering the country. So far, no cases of this heavily mutated variant has been found locally out of 174 people tested. In a press conference this afternoon, the Covid-19 Task Force announcing several precautionary moves to enhance detection and containment of the variant. Until more information is available.
Delta took about 3 to 4 months to become the predominant variant globally. 3 to 4 months. So if Omicron is very infectious, it may be faster than 3 to 4 months. However, the spread of Omicron can also be slowed down because countries this time are a lot quicker in introducing border measures. So on balance, even if Omicron establishes itself and causes large epidemics around the world, we hope it will take a couple of months at least. And this period of a couple of months gives us valuable time to understand this variant, find out more about it, and put in place the appropriate countermeasures. During this time, we may see sporadic cases slipping through into our borders, and we want to be able to detect, isolate, and contain these cases. What we want to prevent and need to prevent during this discovery period is to prevent Omicron to establish itself in our community.
To step up detection and containment of the Omicron variant, there will be further testing protocols for air travellers arriving in Singapore from Friday, December 3rd and will be in place for 4 weeks. First of all, they must test negative at least 2 days before departure and take an on-arrival PCR test. And those who enter Singapore via the vaccinated travel lanes will need to take additional ARTs at a quick test centre on days 3 and 7 of their arrival. Precautionary measures for workers manning our borders as well. From this Thursday, December 2nd, those who may come into contact with travellers from countries or regions affected by the Omicron variant will again need to undergo weekly PCR rostered routine testing. As for air crews serving flights from these affected countries, they will be subject to an on-arrival PCR test and post-arrival PCR tests on days 3 and 7 following each flight duty. Other airport and border frontline workers will continue with ART-based rostered routine testing. Now, if there is a confirmed or suspected case of the Omicron variant, the patient will be conveyed to the National Centre for Infectious Diseases for isolation and management. In other words, this person will not be eligible for home recovery. Full contact tracing will also be conducted to identify close contacts and to place them on a 10-day quarantine at dedicated facilities with PCR testing at the start and end of their quarantine. Amid the unknowns brought on by Omicron, Minister Ong says vaccination is our insurance, stressing that the emergence of this new variant does not mean people should wait for a new vaccine.
And with every Omicron positive case, we will do what is familiar to everyone. We will conduct full contact tracing. Contacts will then be placed under quarantine and tested with PCR for exit. Third thing, we'll continue to push ahead with vaccination. This is absolutely the wrong time to argue that because there are new variants, let's not vaccinate and wait for a new vaccine. Absolutely the wrong time. People die because of such arguments and such decisions. Remember, when we are faced with unknown, we buy insurance. The insurance is now the existing vaccines. It is not a case where there are mutations and hence existing vaccines will not work, because the human body is much more capable than that. once vaccinated. And there is a good chance that existing vaccines will work against Omicron.
Visit straitstimes.com for more on today's announcements. You can also watch the full media conference on the Straits Times' YouTube channel. Now subscribe by hitting the button below. I'm Haryanto Diman and I'll be back on The Big Story to discuss these developments with an expert. So see you at 5:30 p.m.